guys, why haven't you subscribed to our channel yet?
Just do it.
Just do it. Feels good. Subscribe and then maybe even click the like button and
ring the bell, all the things.
All those things.
Just do it.
We do it for you. All right, Play with Matches. We have one of the best shows we have ever done coming up right now. I can't stress enough the crazy ass topics that we are going to cover in this video. Gabrielle, say hello to everybody.
Hi.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
So we're going to talk about a trans man feeding HIV-infected blood.
Breast milk.
Breast milk to a baby. And I just want to make clear, what did I say? Trans man? I say trans woman. It's a man.
A biological male.
It's a man who is taking all kinds of crazy hormones because they have the need to, in Canada, of course. I want to feed my baby. And so it's going to make poison. It's poison anyway, right?
This infuriates me on so many levels. Like, okay, one of the first things I think about, obviously it's biologically wrong and men shouldn't be breastfeeding babies. Like, we know that, right? We know that. But on a scientific level, I think about the fact that it's literally all over the milk that we buy in the store from cows not treated with RSBT or RBST. I forget the exact initials, but that is a hormone that they give to cows to make them create more milk. And we've decided as a community that we don't want to be pumping that into our bodies, into our children, because of the potential effects that it could have on them.
And
right?
all that is just, hey, make a cow that makes milk, make more milk.
Exactly. It's like you would give to a woman who is not producing enough breast milk. But there's a ton of debate around that as well, because the same thing, we should not be introducing hormones to tiny little baby developing bodies. But the entire supply that this man is creating is laden with this hormone, and that's just
Not just one, dude.
I was going to say that's just the tiniest thing of it, because as you were saying, this person also has AIDS or is HIV positive. And
acknowledges that it can be given to the baby by what it's doing.
Because it's transferred via bodily fluids, right? Mm-hmm. Yes. Like, we know that also. Like, what is this person doing? Aside from that, their claim is that they want to feel that maternal feeling of being able to breastfeed their child.
Tough shit. I want Pamela Anderson to suck my balls.
Could there be anything less maternal than knowingly introducing your baby to HIV?
Wow, that was a really good point. I'm sorry I interrupted it with
okay.
Pamela Anderson sucking my balls.
That's fine. But I'm saying, like, prove to me that you are not a mother, like, without saying it. I mean, there's no actual mother would do that to their child. Not one.
It's the opposite of what being a mother is.
It infuriates me.
You selfish, freak, disgusting piece of human garbage. I wonder if you got HIV through some kind of drug-induced, either you were smoking meth and you got into a room with a bunch of other freaks who fucked each other all night, all day, all night, AIDS everywhere, or you injected drugs, AIDS everywhere. Like, we know how you got HIV, you fucking freak.
Maybe.
And
I mean, there's a lot of ways to get it, but that's besides.
A person who ended up being one of these trans freaks who is going to take enough hormones to breastfeed a baby. How do you think they got HIV? What would what's your bet?
I'm not going to speculate there.
They got it from anal sex from another gross freak. Okay. So that is who is allowed. Like, dude, they threaten in that country taking away a baby from a person because they won't validate their trans identity.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this is fine.
Like, oh no. Oh, listen, like I feel like I'm a teenage girl when I have a penis. And it's like, well, maybe we should go have you talk to a psychiatrist. And Canada's all, what the fuck? Are you not validating their gender identity? We are going to send social services over there. And this guy's all, I feel like a woman and I want to let my baby suck AIDS out of my male tits.
Man boobs. Yeah.
Fucking disgusting, dude. Like, that's the kind of shit where it's like
horrifying.
Dude,
like horrifying.
You want to turn people into bigots? There you go, dude. Like, just keep telling people that story.
That's what I was saying in another video. Like, I am the most open-minded person ever until it affects my children, my family, or just children in general, because that poor sweet baby has no say in the matter at all. And it is the most selfish, just self-indulged awfulness I have ever heard of. I mean, it's bad on so many levels that
baby
it's almost hard to articulate.
Has no chance. Let's just be honest,
it's
dude.
So sad.
Like, that baby does not have a chance. Doesn't have a chance at all. Like, that baby is like, it's like born and it's like the possibilities are endless. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, oh, nature and nurture, any kind of, I don't know, like any kind of stimulus can lead a kid in this direction, that direction. I just watched this documentary about like one of the most evil human beings in the history of the world. Like, it's like there's like a prisoner who's in California State Prison, and they talked about some of the crimes this guy committed, and you're like, this is a person that you walk into their cell and you go, close your eyes if you want, bang, you're dead. No one will miss them. Not one person will miss them. Lots of people, everyone who's ever had any contact with them will feel more safe. They should not exist on Earth.
Yeah.
And then they talked about what this thing's childhood was like, was like. And you're like, wow, well, that's exactly how you create a thing like that. Like, that's their childhood. And then they get put on crystal meth when they're older, and they become this satanic, like, cannibal thing.
There's so much evidence on the first 5 years of life. And if a kid doesn't get the things that they need during those first 5 years, it is an uphill battle. Like, you cannot undo the first 5 years. And imagine what the first 5 years of this poor, sweet, innocent baby's life are going to be.
Yeah. And also, it's like they are
a completely narcissistic parent.
Disgusting freak that should not exist parent. If you say
whatever, I mean, I feel like people have a right to exist, but I don't feel like everyone has a right to raise a child.
Dude, if you say the words, yes, I acknowledge that this action that I'm doing could give HIV to my baby, and then you still
like,
do it,
how is
get outta
CPS
here,
not
dude.
there? I genuinely don't understand that.
I can explain it to you exactly. Okay, so do you know the guy in Canada who is the shop teacher?
What's the Canadian CPS, by the way? Is it CPS?
I think, but what's the acronym for Trans Enforcement Agency? TEA, Trans Enforcement Agency.
Great.
Okay, so do you remember the teacher in Canada? That was like it was like the shop teacher, and they started coming to school in those
with the
enormous
with the
fake,
big boobs.
I mean, like down to here.
I love that you went down here and I went up here.
Oh yeah, they're definitely what I said.
Okay. Yeah. I do know. I remember that.
Because that guy's a shop teacher. He's like a trumper in Canada for 100% sure.
He was trolling. Yeah.
He's trolling, and he knew it was like a force field. There's nothing they can do, and like nothing they could do. That was the most outlandish. Like, the whole right wing media started covering it. They're all, look at this freak. They didn't even realize, like, oh no, this guy's a hero.
Yeah,
actually.
He's proving a point.
He's a hero. And it's like, if you are, my gender identity, whatever, there, you can't do anything wrong, to the point where you could literally be like, because where do you think the guy is getting the fucking drugs to take in order to produce like milk or whatever that poison is that's coming out of his fucking man boobs? Where do you think that's coming from? You think he's paying for it? The state's paying for it.
Of course, yeah.
The Canadian government, and when I say Canadian government, what I mean is the Canadian taxpayers are paying for that. Like, if I lived in Canada and I, it's tax time and I'm cutting my check, and I know that money is going to go to some disgusting, narcissistic, mentally ill, psychotic trans freak that's going to feed their HIV infected body fluid to a fucking baby, like, there's nothing that could ever happen where I would be more inclined to be like, you know what? How about no? You know what I mean? Like, how about no? And it's amazing that the Canadian people just let this shit slide. It's like they're
so polite.
They've poisoned
okay.
Exactly. Like, the entire culture. They're so like, they're just so adverse to confrontation.
Conflict. Yeah.
That they'll let that slide, dude. And you're like, dude, I don't know how to even, I don't know what to do with that, dude. They're feeding AIDS to a fucking baby.
Yeah.
They're putting AIDS in a baby's mouth. And you're like, but they're trans, you know, it's really important to protect their feelings.
It's really important to protect their feelings. Like, that's it. Like, when did anyone's feelings begin to supersede and trump health or well-being or someone else's right to choose in a situation? You know, like this, like I said, this baby does not have a choice. Like, I guarantee if this baby had a fully functioning conscience and was verbal, would say, no, thank you, I'll take the formula. Like, and I'm a very like breast is best person. Like, I
think
like, but seriously, like, if this baby actually had a choice, there's not a single scenario on the planet that this child would choose that for itself. Not one.
No, I don't want to get dark, but there is a.
Can we take a moment for Jasper really fast, because he's so cute.
If someone tried to feed here, I can hear him purring. Put the mic up to him. Oh my God, it's so loud. But if you tried to feed him HIV milk, I would do something drastic.
Yeah.
You know, I would do something not advisable.
Because you're a parent. Because you genuinely care about the health and safety of our children, which this person does not.
Imagine if our kids went to school and like and someone just took it upon themselves. They're all, we're feeding milk to the kids at lunch today, and
just a little HIV.
Don't worry, like, there's nothing to freak out about, but like there's gonna be a slight possibility that they might catch HIV from the milk that we feed them
because it's in all the milk.
Yeah, because listen, guys, have you seen the lunch lady? She wants to be the one that milks herself to give it to the kids. Okay? Because bottom line, that dude, that's not their biological kid anyway, most likely, or maybe it is, and in which case that kid's fucked anyway.
Yeah.
It puts hate in your heart, dude. Honestly, these stories. Not for just
That's what I keep saying.
Not for just like trans people.
I am the kindest, most accepting person ever, but stories like this infuriate me to a point where I hear things leave my mouth and I'm like, I never would have said that under normal circumstances, ever.
Yep. Makes me sound like I don't know, not a great version of myself. It makes me hate people. Like a person like that, like, it's like, I don't, I just don't even know what to say about it.
I just don't care for selfish people in general, and that's about the most selfish thing that you could do.
Yes. And at the expense of a fucking baby, dude.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think there's any level higher of selfishness than that.
Yep. And that's the thing. So what I was going to say, which I got distracted because I'm watching a video on my other channel that literally should be in outer space, not do that. And it is absolutely infuriating me on a level that is hard to.
A level of angry that is even high for Jesse on Fire.
It's insane. I know how YouTube works. There's no reason that this video should not be tripling what it's doing. And I am very upset about it. But nonetheless, what I was going to say is, if you were going to pick a side that doesn't seem to give a shit about babies, which side would that be? Abort up to 9 months.
Get rid of them, feed them HIV, change their gender. Like, that's very, very, very true.
They don't give a shit about babies, man.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit about babies at all.
And if you go down to the root of it, I mean, obviously money is always the root of things, but think about all the money in abortions, in sex changes, in everything like this. I mean, there's so much money, because you think about someone who goes through a sex change, that is a customer for life. For life. You're going to need probably some more surgeries, but also, without a shadow of a doubt, the hormones that come along with it. And then you've also probably got them in some sort of psychiatric program. I mean, there is so much money in sex changes, and so much money. What is
what is an easier business model, right? Going out and trying to market to everybody in the world through, advertising, whatever, or going to the government and then getting the government to pay for things, and then just being like, hey guys, this is available to you.
Yeah. I mean, look at all the other health things that we've seen,
How about the COVID shot?
That's what I was going to say without saying it. But
I mean, I'm not talking about the efficacy of the COVID shot. What I'm saying is, like, it was a hell of a lot easier to just go to the government and go, this is this important. You guys pay for it, and then go to the public and be all, it's free. It's like, it's not free, you stupid fucks.
Yeah.
There's nothing
You're
free
paying
about
for it on the back end.
You're paying for it. Like, and I see so much of that in how everything happens now, where it's like,
yep.
oh, you know, I just saw there's a new bill to send $90 billion to Ukraine and Israel. And I'm like, just $90 billion. $90 billion. I have an idea. How about you take like $2 billion of that and you send it to Hawaii, where the people's entire like world's burned down? Like, I would vote for that. This is what I'm saying. Like, the government does not represent us anymore, and there's no one who's going to convince me otherwise. Because if the government represented us, it would be like, hey guys, this is a simple fucking like, or
opening the border. Sorry.
When do you feel like they are out voting on something that you understand? You know, like, where it's like, we're thinking about allocating money to this. Like, there's intentional complexity to everything. It's like, hey guys, in Hawaii, this is what caused these fires. Here are the people that lost their homes. They lost this type of sewage. You know, these are the estimates for how much it's going to cost to rebuild. And dude, there's a million ways to be corrupt if that's what they need to do. You know, juke the numbers, make it a little bit more expensive, whatever, to rebuild it. They give the contracts to their buddies. Fine. You guys need to be corrupt, be corrupt. But it's like, do you guys want to take $3 billion of tax money that we all pay into and help these people who lost their homes? And it's like, yes or no. And then how hard would it be for us to go on our fucking phone and blockchain like, yeah, I'm good with that, or no, I'm not good with that. But instead, we have this stupid fucking thing where you have these corrupt, like, we don't need that shit anymore. That's the truth. We don't fucking need the way that we do, because we all have fucking cell phone. Every person has a cell phone. We all have blockchain. Yeah. If you want real democracy, we could literally do, like, you could have people who are lobbyists that present two cases. You look at them and you're all yes, no, whatever. Like, this shit is just corrupts 90 more billion fucking dollars.
It's like the TSA agent that we were talking to with the machines and how they work. And he's like, if you look through here, we have 5 different types of machines that are scanning your stuff.
Yep.
He's like, they've actually created the technology where you don't need to unpack your bag or take off your shoes. You just need to walk through like a little rainbow arch, and it does all of it. He's like, that's existed for a...
It smells your
He's
bag.
like, no, I mean, the ones that we went through did that. But he's like, that technology has existed for a long time. It would make, basically, he's like, my job pretty much non-existent. But they won't implement it because the people who make the current machines have contracts with Congress or whatever. And you just follow the money. You always follow the money. It's never been about making things better or more simple for the American people, ever. It's always been, how can we pad our pockets the most?
Totally. In some cases, I like, just because this is a topic I actually do know a little bit about, that I will layer on a little bit more context to. So so let's say that there are 4 machines that do this, right? So, and there's a member of the House of Representatives, which, you know, represents a much smaller group of people. Their district is not necessarily very big. And so they're responsible for X, Y, Z. Okay. So a lot of times they'll have a very specific thing. In many cases, the ones that I am speaking of specifically, it's like a type of military technology. And it's in many cases this like obsolete type of like fucking warship that like we literally barely use anymore. But from time immemorial, we manufacture them in this place. And this huge percentage of the population that this one House of Representatives guy represents is the representative of those people. And so when they come and they're like, okay, we need $90 billion for Israel and Ukraine, he's like, well, if you want me to vote for this, then I need you to vote to keep this warship in circulation in the military because I'm protecting their jobs. So at the very least, if you look at it that way, it is corrupt, kind of, but at least you're doing it because you're like, I'm trying to protect these jobs. In many cases,
he's really trying to protect the jobs, because if the jobs go away, guess what else goes away? His paycheck.
No, 100%. But that is what he is elected to do, is to work for the benefit of the people that they represent. I'm not saying it's a good system, but I'm just saying in that one case.
I'm just not thinking that the majority of these people actually care about the good of anybody except themselves.
No, I know. The good of himself is he gets to keep his job. That's what I'm saying. Is like, he gets voted out if they all lose their jobs. They're like, this guy fucking does. That gets as simple as that. And I mean, these bills that go through are fucking 5,000 pages long and no one reads them, dude. And that's because in every single one, they've got a million
in there.
Not something.
Many things.
Everything is there. You know, like, oh, 90 billion is going to Ukraine. And it's like, how much is really going though? You know what I mean? Because it gets like, if you actually read through these, it's unbelievable. Like these watchdog groups that every once in a while put information that'll never hit the mainstream media ever. But it's like, so this 150 million is going to this 150 is going to this. That's how, well, one of many reasons that these people who are in Congress forever end up being worth $100 million when they get paid $200,000 a year. You know, a lot of it's insider trading. A lot of it is just stone corrupt kind of shit that they do on the side. And everybody just takes it for granted, you know, that's the way it is because they know they're powerless to change it anyway. And listen, if I was in Congress, I would make so much goddamn money.
Thank God you're not in Congress.
Why?
It would not be good for the American people.
Yes, I would. I wouldn't do anything at the expense of the American people. I would not. I'm telling you that right now.
I feel like everyone likes to think that about themselves, but I think that money.
No. I would work the system to benefit in ways like, we're about to greenlight $50 billion to Amazon, and I'm going to go buy 1 million short-term call options through some fucking, shell corporation, and I'm going to make $1 billion on that. But there's no way if someone's all right, so we're going to do this, this, and this, and it's going to destroy 50,000 American jobs. There's no fucking way I would do that. Zero chance. I would never do that. Never.
Okay.
God, I hate these fucking people. But speaking of that,
speaking of other stupid shit that Canada's doing,
she knew exactly where I was going. So there's also this Canadian thing that is a man and is suing the Canadian government because this is my
favorite story.
It wants to have a surgical vagina.
It already has a penis.
It's just not even unreasonable. Like the Canadian government pays for sex changes. Yeah. So like that's what it wants. Except one caveat: this thing identifies as non-binary, and thus it wants to maintain its penis while also having a surgically, created vagina, and so it could be the first, surgically created
hermaphrodite
non-binary person. And that way, it's like, listen, I'm proof that non-binary people exist. I'm like, you're proof that they surgically created a hole in between your fucking balls and your ass. You fucking freak.
By that token, though, like, wouldn't that also work to just get rid of both of them?
I like that idea better.
Right? I feel like
just castrate
I feel like that sounds more fair. Just leave a hole for peeing and then you're good.
This is the thing I don't understand. Okay, and this is
non-binary.
It's gonna get weird. I'm gonna warn you in advance.
Shocker.
So a person is a trans woman or whatever. It's born a dude.
A biological male.
It's a biological male that's like, I've always felt female and I want to do something about it, right? Mm-hmm. So you take hormones, your face starts changing. You get, you go to a surgeon and they chisel your cheeks or something and they do whatever. They make you look as close to like a girl as they can. You start looking kind of pretty, whatever. And it's like, I want to be as much of a girl as I possibly can. You surgically remove the penis, whatever. Here's what I don't get, dude. Why do you need to like, you, or let's say you surgically create a vagina. Why would you ever have someone have sex with that? It's like, just let them pound your ass. You know what I mean? Like, does it not seem completely insane that any person would want to insert themselves into a surgically created hole that they have no feeling in? Like, that is so fucking weird to me.
Apparently they do have feeling there, because what they actually do is take the penis and turn it inside out and take the head of the penis and make it like the clitoral head. That's how the surgery actually goes. The biggest clit
of all time.
Well, I mean, they take the nerve endings and create it.
Okay, I'm sorry that I brought this up.
That said,
I'm serious. I'm sorry I brought this up.
That said, the whole thing sounds completely nuts to me, and it's the.
Look at
it's yes, goosebumps.
Oh my god, that is so
like whole thing. This is the only mental delusion that we as a society, or not as well, I guess as a society, have decided that we need to
go all in.
Yeah, but validate. Like, we would never have a schizophrenic who had some delusion going on and be like, yeah, buddy, that's what's happening. But this one, for some reason, we're like, we have to validate their feelings.
I don't even have a problem with the like. Okay, let me just qualify this, because I hear us sounding just straight up trans bigots, and I
always wonder. No, you can do that in a second. But I always wonder if like hormone therapy in the opposite way would change the way that they feel. Like, if you have someone who's a biological male but they identify as a female, if you actually increase their testosterone, if it would change things. Because it's something I've always wondered that I don't think has been tried. I could be wrong.
I don't know, dude, because there are like, because I mean, listen, dude, obviously being trans is a real thing.
Sure.
I mean, for some percentage of them, right?
Being schizophrenic.
Right. But I mean, like, because there are like these people who are like special forces operators that are super high testosterone, very obviously, and they're just, and like, they just go trans, like, where they clearly have high testosterone. I think that the people who have the real disorder, I don't know if that would necessarily help. I'm basing this on fucking nothing.
Mine's pure just curiosity.
Speculation, totally. I will say, though, that, like, I just want to make sure I'm being clear. I don't have any issue with real trans people at all. You want to transition, dude. And I've told this story, but I don't know if I've actually talked about this on this channel, though, that, like, I'll just tell the story how it happened, actually. So when I was in middle school, I was in 6th grade, and there were like this crew of like gangster kids that were in 8th grade, right? They were like, it's so funny how I remember them as like, to me, they were like adults. Okay. They were like 14 years old, but at the time I was like 11 or 12. Yeah. And so I remember this crew because they were like the crew that was kind of like, damn, they're kind of
the cool crew.
They're like, no, like, well, yeah, but like, they're like the dangerous kids to me. And there was one kid like Sebastian or something who was kind of like the leader. And then there was this other person who was always with them who had a shaved head and wore baggy ass clothes.
Super dudely.
Everyone knew that it was a girl. Like, it was like everyone knew that it was actually a girl that just completely was like, I'm a dude, you know, which
that's kind of badass that the gangster dudes were like, yeah, this person rolls with us.
Yeah. They didn't give
I kind of respect that.
They didn't care.
Yeah.
So, but like, I mean, I don't think anyone cares when it's like that. You know what I mean?
That's it.
I don't think anyone
cares. Yeah.
So I knew about this because when I was in 6th grade, I had 7th grade girlfriends, which was kind of like this in between. Wow. And one of the 7th grade girlfriend's friends told me that they hooked up with the girl, and like they like told the story, like they thought it was a dude and found out it was not a dude. Anyway, so I knew of this person, right? Fast forward to 2015. Okay. So that would be a million years later. 2015, I had a bunch of restaurant equipment stuff that I was selling. We don't even need to get into the specifics on this.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Random.
So I had like $3,000 worth of like silverware. So I find out there's someone at this restaurant that may be interested in buying it. I go and I meet with them, and I meet with this dude who is, like he has a beard, like shaved head. He's kind of yoked. He has a sleeve. He's a dude, you know, like it's a fucking dude. I sit down, I rap out with him for a couple hours, and I remember very specific, maybe an hour, whatever, but I remember very specifically noticing, I'm like, man, this dude really makes you feel like he's listening to you in a way that is abnormal. You know, like in a really positive way. I mean, like where I was like, I like how this guy makes me feel when I'm talking to him. You know, like he looks all gangster and shit, but he's like very engaged and attentive, and he's listening. You know, like I was like, I want to fucking hang out with that guy again, right?
Like us girls are so good at.
So I figure you guys all know where this is going. That dude was the fucking girl from middle school. And she knew when she was fucking very young that she was trans. And as a grown up, you know, who was at the time, you know, she was older than me. So I don't know. She was in her mid 30s at the time or whatever. Or he now in their mid 30s is a dude. I'm telling you right now, when I tell you that no one would ever guess that this person was born a girl. I can't stress enough how much I would bet my life on that. That if you put that dude or whatever in a lineup with another 20 dudes, and you were like, pick the one that was born a girl.
Yeah.
Zero. Like it would be like throwing a dart at the wall. No one would ever know that this person was born a girl. And I found out. And then when someone told me that, you know, I put it together, I'm like, holy shit, that's the one from middle school. Yeah. It fucking blew my mind. So then I went and looked them up on Facebook. I'm not going to fucking show it and like completely out them. Like this used to be, but like pictures with their shirt off, buff, no fucking person.
I remember seeing them.
Ever
Very
know.
Very manly.
Ever know. And so I am definitely not a person who questions the validity of this condition or whatever. And I have discussed a million times. There's a very, you know, my brain thinks that maybe we're plugged in on the other side, and maybe people are like, You know, some
I
girl,
wonder what it's like.
some guy, yeah, it's like, I wonder what it's like to live as a girl, dude. And they get plugged in, and once they're in, their brain can't compute it. They're like, dude, I don't know what the fuck it is, like, but I'm not a girl.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, I'm not a fucking girl. You know, it could be as simple as that. You plugged in on the other side and you tried and it didn't work. And like, and you know, you get back over there and you know, they review what you learned during that lifetime.
I learned that I am in fact a female.
And they're like, you know, listen, you know, they tell you, they're like, listen, before you do the I want to live as a girl thing, like one in about 50 people who try this, they can't compute it on the other side, and they just get this overwhelming thing, and they end up living this life like they feel like they have to transition, whatever. You know what I mean? Could be,
yeah.
It could be explainable like that if you basically just take what you know about the world and then assume that we're in a simulation of some kind. But like,
Jesse's favorite assumption.
Well, I mean, it's the only thing that that computes to me that, you know, where I don't die and it's just blackness forever. You know what I mean?
But then what about the people that are going in the simulation? What happens to them when they die?
What do you mean?
Like, if we are in a simulation, there's like an actual body somewhere else. What happens when that body dies?
Shit, I don't know. I can't solve all
One
the world's
thing at a
fucking
time.
problems. Jesus. If we're in a world where you can simulate and not know where you are, maybe we have technology that can, you know, keep you going for thousands of years. What the fuck? I don't know.
Maybe.
And then maybe when you do finally die, you end up in the best place ever. You're all, Jesus, I did 6,000 years. Why didn't I just let myself die? Fuck.
Yeah.
Anyway, but the guy that wants the fucking vagina with his penis, fuck you, dude.
That's just Looney Toony.
Yeah. I mean, at a certain, it's like, it literally is like this shield you could put on yourself to where anything you do or say afterwards, you have like, you can't be criticized by the government or the left. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what you do, you're all. So listen, I am trans and I like to diddle babies. And they're like, well, wait a minute. Is diddling babies kind of part of your trans thing? It is. It's part of me being trans. They're like, okay. Now, speaking of...
I'm making it cooler in here. It's hot.
Yeah.
Between you and the cat, I'm like 1,000,000 degrees right now.
Now, transitioning to... I don't understand this world right now.
Something else happening in Canada?
No, I'm talking about this video that should be absolutely flying. It is just... I don't understand. I don't understand, man.
Holy shit.
Now, in fairness, I feel like I should share what I was complaining about so that we can put in perspective what a spoiled pussy I am. I was complaining that this video that I just put up about Ryan Garcia missing weight, which I know when a video should really go viral.
He does.
I mean, like, it doesn't happen that often, but I know, like, this video should, and it's not spiking, and that is very concerning and really pissing me off.
Infuriating is the word.
But the videos that it is tracking against ended up between like 40 and 75,000 views each of them. If someone would have been like, hey, dude, there's going to be a time in your YouTube career where you're going to have a video that's done...
that might do worse than that.
that a video that after 1 hour has 7,500 views, and that's going to absolutely infuriate you. 7,500 views after an hour and 9 minutes. I would be like, well, if that ever happens, make sure that you slap my face. So, but...
We always talk about this, though. Like, the human brain gets used to anything. And, you know, back then you would have done a lot to have that happen. And then that gets to be your normal. And then you're like, now I want the next step.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, just human nature.
But I will say that since I got back from UFC 300, like the YouTube algorithm, I'm telling you, for anybody who is an aspiring YouTuber, it is the combat sports niche is weird in that there are these huge events, right? Like big events. If you are not around your computer so that you can participate in the commentary around a big event, you get fucking destroyed by the algorithm. I mean, you get destroyed because the algorithm is constantly measuring you against your competitive channels. And so if you, as an example, decide it's bucket list time, we're going to UFC 300, and you're like, I'm just going to enjoy this weekend and not put up any content and just really enjoy myself. Well, guess what, dude? Every other channel is putting up the commentary and absolutely crushing views. And then so when you come back and you start putting up content, the algorithm is like, you are not as important to the community as these other channels. The
algorithm is so fickle.
It's not fickle. It's just constantly measuring you and comparing you constantly.
Yeah.
And I have now moved myself into this niche where I have a lot of flexibility in terms of like, I am not like stuck in just mixed martial arts. I can do boxing. I can do Joe Rogan talks about trans thing. I can do, you know, P. Diddy story, which has nothing, you know, like I can do Andrew Tate. I can do all kinds of stuff. I have a lot of flexibility, but when it comes to like an event like UFC 300, if I went to that and then I let everybody else just crush it, it fucks me until I can find another massive story that is just undeniable.
Next time, maybe during the event or something. Maybe not during the event. I don't know. But you went live when we were there. That doesn't count.
I went live super late at night after the event.
Like maybe, I was going to say go live like during one of the less exciting cards from the arena.
This is the reality is I
take people on a walk of the arena. That would be pretty fun.
The thing is though, dude, I can't do my best work from a hotel room, period. Sure. And so even if I do a video and put it up, it's very rare where those videos will do well because it's just not high production value and whatever. All right, now we're going to switch gears and talk about maybe the craziest thing that we've seen out of Canada. And I'm going to give you a little bit of preface for this, okay? So since 2020 and all the talk about the Great Reset and, you know, Plan 3030, like, you know, 2030, whatever, we're going to have completely changed the world. And it's basically...
You're going to own nothing and be happy about it.
You're going to own nothing and be happy about it. It's like the one, you know, America, they're failing, dude. Like they're trying and they're failing. Everything
because
they're trying to do
America.
Here. We're America, dude. Yeah. Like you can rig the elections. You can do whatever with the media. It's America, dude. You know how deep rooted being American is? Yeah. You know what I mean? So
and it's not just, I mean, other countries are very rooted in their patriotism or whatever you call it if it's another country.
But what does that stand for?
But that's what I'm saying. Like to be an American are such strong values of like independence, work hard, the American dream, you can make a better life for yourself. Like that's the whole point.
Almost like why they would open the borders is because the current Americans are not going along with the program.
We need to let in some other people who might play the game with us.
That we could give stuff to. Yeah. So Canada, on the other hand, is going along with this hook, line, and sinker. And so I always wonder, I'm like, how do you actually go from capitalist to like, not just, you know, socialized medicine, but like, true communism? How does that happen? How are you gonna transition this? And you look at step one, right? So they've separated everyone, gender identity, people of color, all the most just straight up communist stuff that they've been trying to split the, you know, people. This is communist playbook, exactly how you do this. And then I saw this and it's like Trudeau to introduce halal mortgage for Muslims in Canada, bans foreigners from buying home for 2 years. Okay. So Canada announced plan to introduce halal mortgages for Muslims and ban foreigners from buying land in country for 2 years in its annual budget. Canadian budget is exploring options. Exploring options to broaden access to financing alternatives, including halal mortgages. Now, what is that? That sounds like just some racist shit, right? Like, oh, you know, we're going to give this to whatever. But when you get into the specifics of this, it gets a lot crazier. So this initiative is part of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's efforts to support Canadians aspiring, becoming homeowners with a particular focus on the Muslim community. Well, that sounds like a great thing to do. Mm-hmm. And so you're like, well, wait, what does that actually mean? Okay. So this could include changes in the tax treatment of those products or a new regulatory sandbox for financial service providers while ensuring adequate consumer protections are in place. Okay. So here is what we're going to look for. Okay. So what's part of a mortgage again is interest. Mm-hmm. So halal mortgages are compliant with Islamic law, which prohibits the charging of interest, considering it is a form of usury. While so non-interest mortgages only for Muslims. Oh, wow. Like, I think I would like if
I want that mortgage.
I would
please.
love that mortgage. You know what I mean? It's like
considering that most people like that's what ends up killing them.
Let's just put this in perspective. We financed $530,000 on our house. Okay, we've lived here for 3 years, paying an average of about 30. Well, including taxes, whatever. So if you take the, I don't know what exactly it is, but it's like an average of about $3,600 a month is what
it's been over 4,000 recently, but yeah.
But we got that paid back. Remember?
Yeah.
So it's like whatever, call it 3,600. Let's call it 2,900 is like our actual mortgage minus taxes and insurance. Okay, so $2,900 times 36 is $104,000. Do you think that we owe $430,000 on our house now? You think that's how much we've taken off?
Yeah,
no insurance or no interest? No, that's not how that works because
you pay your interest first.
We would have our house paid off in how long? 5 years. Okay? 5 years. How long do we pay it off? 30 years. Now, is that bullshit? Maybe. But if we didn't want to put an additional $500,000 outlay to buy the house, then we made a decision to take this mortgage. But this was and that's with a 3% mortgage rate or 3.6 or whatever we have.
Great rate.
Okay. So you're telling me that white people are going to go with that system that everybody has. But if you're Arab, you just get to go into Canada and you get an interest-free mortgage.
But you have to wait 2 years. So that makes it fair.
It's like, while other Abrahamic faiths such as Judaism, Christianity also view usury as a sin, Islamic financial institutions uniquely offer mortgages and lending products that avoid conventional interest payments. Although some Canadian financial institutions already offer Islamic law compliant mortgages, none of the country's 5 major banks currently provide them. Experts believe these alternative mortgages might not be entirely interest-free, but could involve regular fees as a substitute for interest. Okay, so what's the difference? Okay. Many on social media called it a woke idea that intends to benefit one section of society. Right. Because that's not what it is.
What else would it be called?
Religious financial products with different tracks. What? Yeah. Right. And then in its budget.
So unless we're either seeing that the price has to be increased dramatically, like quadrupled or whatever, in order to make the payoff time fair, or fees that are equivalent to the interest that would be being charged. Unless we see that, this is the craziest, most lunatic idea I've ever seen in my life.
Now, Canada government has introduced a 2-year ban on the purchase of residential property by foreign investors. Now, that's fine. That's taking care of Canadians. You're like, we don't want China or the United States, like investment firms, just coming in and buying residential properties and driving up the cost. Okay, that.
I like that.
Yeah, that's like.
That happens here.
If we did that here, that would be called America First.
Yeah.
Who? I can't remember which president.
That's a weird saying. I feel like I've heard that before.
America First. Make America great again. America First. I can't remember.
I don't know. It's ringing a bell, but I can't place it.
I don't know. I talked to my mom about him yesterday. It was so funny because my mom is a Democrat, but she is a level-headed.
She's an eyes open, 100%. Willing to listen to things.
Totally. Like I can talk to my mom about things that we disagree with and not spaz out because
versus your dad.
Well, no, I can't spaz out on my dad. He just won't talk to me about it. But I mean, lots of people.
He literally puts you on mute.
It's like lots of people, if you start talking to them about Trump or any of that stuff, they literally just go, it's like you can't even talk to them. Like my mom is very open. She's just like, I just don't like him. She's like, I don't care.
And I think that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair, of course.
I didn't like him for a long time.
You can't force a person to like a person. But again, this is what we're talking about, dude. And people are like, you're racist. It's like, I'm racist.
Are we?
Because we said it's not cool to give one
preferential treatment
to a
one group of people. I feel like that's racist.
Does that maybe open the door to all kinds of problematic stuff? Everything's been rigged for the white people, up until now. Really?
Has it though?
Recently? Again, in the United States, you go back to redlining and all that. Yeah.
For sure.
Black people got fucked in this country.
Absolutely.
But not anymore. Not anymore. Anyway, whatever. Canada's fucking crazy. I'm glad I don't live there. And they are going to woke themselves into...
So I have a friend who lives there, and she's got some major health stuff going on. And she's like, you are so lucky to live in the United States. She's like, I cannot even get in to see a doctor for I think she said a year.
I know. It's insane.
The only way for her to get medical treatment is to let her symptoms get so bad that she has to go to the ER.
It's insane.
It's not. And then you get to the ER and it's not a specialist. You can't get.
What do they do for people who have cancer and stuff?
I'm sure they have different systems for that. Hi, kitty. But
I just love petting the kitty.
But I mean, she has really serious health stuff going on, and it's been bad, but she literally can't get treatment. I'm like, can't you go pay for a specialist? And she's like, nope. She's like, we have money. I literally cannot pay to get treatment.
So this is the last thing that I wanted.
You angered our cat. He
this
just
is the
left.
thing I wanted to discuss with
you. With
you.
your angry energy.
The last thing, okay? So
Jasper.
this stupid bitch right here.
Who is that?
This is Lindsay Hill. She is one of the girls who made a fake rape charge against Trevor. Okay,
the worst kind of people.
This particular girl,
aside from the other ones we talked
is
about,
the one who got caught specifically targeting him in advance, caught red-handed. Like, I am going to steal his money. It says, I need to be a whore for daddy, get him to choke me out. And she's talking about how she's going to get his $51 million. That is the context. And then after she has sex with him, takes a video of herself in his bed like this and winks at the camera. She's caught red-handed. Every single thing she was trying to do in court got thrown out. Like, she's caught. Okay.
what happens to these people?
That's exactly what we're going to talk about. And then, well, first I'm going to let you watch this stupid bitch talk about this. Okay. And
can't wait.
but also then I want to show you this. So not that. The other girl, where is it, dude? This is the other girl. This is the one who is now facing 16 years in prison. So this one, she's facing 16 years in prison because she pretended to get pregnant, sued him for mental anguish because he forced her to get an abortion. She wasn't even pregnant. Then later changed her story that she miscarried and got caught for that also. Then when then she had interacted with someone and he outed her as having been conspiring or something like that. And Trevor Bauer was going to use him in his case against her. And so she said that person raped her also. Okay. So this one is facing 16 years in prison. Now I'm showing you.
She's facing 16 years.
16 years. So I'm showing you her because at least this girl I look at, I'm like, man, if she threw that box at me and I was a single picture.
She's real cute.
I'd smash the fucking shit out of that.
Like, she's real cute.
She was like,
yeah.
I want to come over and let you pulverize my body. I'd be all, bitch, you better bring.
What time?
Yeah, you better bring some energy because I'm going to wear that ass out.
Yeah,
something
she's
mean.
beautiful.
But she is a criminal fraudster, okay, charged with a count of fraudulent schemes and artifices on Monday and is facing 16 years in prison. Okay, so like I said, this one is not even close to as bad as this one. This one's way worse, and this one is an absolute psychopath. She will not give in and just acknowledge, it's not even like
I can tell everything I need to know just by that screenshot.
I mean, dude, look at
the glasses, the lips, the whole,
God.
just everything.
And when she first, I'm trying to find something where you can see like what she, oh my God. And this, I mean, she at least was way cuter when she got him, but went like when she got him, like when she tricked him into banging her, like, and she went and got her lips done, went and got her boobs done. She didn't have boobs, but she was way hotter when she got him. Apparently you can't find any picture. Anyway, whatever. But I just want you to hear what a person sounds like, an absolute sociopath who has been totally caught, has been defriended by every single person that knows her, and she is still riding this fucking train of trying to pretend like not only that she didn't do anything wrong, but that Trevor Bauer really is this fucking predator.
That she's the victim.
Listen to this.
Okay.
All right, we're not going to get into a 4-minute materially false little YouTube video that looked like it was edited with the skills of a 5th grader.
This is because he put out a YouTube video that exposed every single thing that she had done. And she, like when I tell you, okay, one thing that I need to point out was when she took that video and winked at the camera, later in the day or day after, she put a picture out of herself with her face just battered to shit.
Oh, right. I remember that. Yeah.
Right.
But she wasn't looking.
We're going to break down why no MLB team is signing Trevor Bauer. Could you imagine that? No one is signing him. So it's almost like the conservative media who attacked me, they thought they knew better than, a neutral arbitrator who heard all the evidence from different women. They thought they knew better than that. They thought they knew better than the top lawyers that were brought.
And all of them ruled in his favor. So her only thing
she is intelligent.
that she is holding on to here is that because a Major League Baseball team has not signed him, that means he's guilty, even though every court of law, every arbitrator has gone his direction.
And like Maura Penza, who brought down Keith Raniere and Nixium. And they thought they knew better than the investigators who went through Trevor's life for 10 months with multiple women. Just huge shout out to them first. So let's just break it down. We don't have a lot of time.
In my video, I stopped right there and I was like, we don't have a lot of time. Why? Because you're going to go to your fucking job, you unemployed cunt.
4 minutes is too long. Number one, why he's not signed. Multiple accusers. Some of which who have sex tapes that he filmed himself with his GoPro and sent to the women that were brought to MLB and played. And I have seen some of them with my own eyes, and there's non-consensual activity going on, first of all.
Non-consensual activity, and he sent the video to the girls in the video. So it's so non-consensual that he's all, hey, you want a copy of this tape?
It's really good.
It makes a lot of sense, right? Like, it was so non-consensual that he sent a copy of the video to the girls.
And it is one of the most dark things you could ever imagine. Second of all, texts. Like a text that says, I want to, you completely unconscious.
Show it to me. Show it to me, you non-credible fucking bitch.
There's hundreds and hundreds of texts like that. Multiple women. Another woman testified against him in the MLB arbitration, and we would FaceTime back and forth after all of it. I heard every detail. I knew exactly what happened in arbitration. They made her watch those videos as her lawyer Bauer's lawyers taunted her about it.
Yeah, because they're watching the video and going, so this is non-consensual. Like, this is non-consensual. She's probably on top of him, like, you know, arm on the thing, like riding him. So this is non-consensual. You know what I mean? Like, if I was his attorney, I'd be like, so you're being forced to do this, right? Yeah. Like, this is you're hating this, right? Like, you're not super non-consensual with him on his back and you riding him, holding on to his bedpost, like non-consensual.
What else? They brought in bruising experts to go through the exact timeline of that Snapchat video y'all love.
Oh, you mean the one where you have not one mark on your face whatsoever before the next day you suddenly look like you got ran over by a fucking 18-wheeler, you lying fucking bitch?
Imagine that. I have metadata verified pictures.
It's probably makeup.
20 minutes after that video was taken, starting to develop them bruising. Okay, impossible to do it to myself. That's ridiculous.
She said that she has proof that she started bruising after that video.
After she was like, hey.
And so let's just do this, dude. So I'll show you. I will show you both Trevor Bauer and her video.
She is very articulate, though.
She's a stupid psychopathic bitch.
Is she? I mean, how many times? I have something in my eye. How many times did she get away with it, though?
I don't know, but
probably a lot.
Maybe, I don't know. Okay, so this is. Hold on.
21.
So this is the video of her right here. So
it's video for me and my leader.
So she had texted a bunch of people about how she was going to get him to choke her out and that she was going to use that to get his money, whatever. Yeah. And then this is the video right here that she took of herself after banging him, which she is saying 20 minutes after this, she started bruising. Okay, right? Watch this.
Legal team. Information like this video, which was taken by Lindsay Hill herself the morning after she claims she was brutally attacked, emotionally traumatized, and desperate to get away from me. And now we have the metadata, so there can be no dispute. It was taken mere minutes before she left my house on the morning of May 16th, 2021. Wow. Without my knowledge or consent, of course. In it, you can see her lying in bed next to me while I'm sleeping, smirking at the camera without a care in the world.
Dude, every time I watch that video, I have to not say what I'm thinking out loud. I'm like,
keep it in your brain. That's insane.
If she got skinned alive,
Jesse, shh,
I would be very upset.
So we went through the bruising.
I would be devastated.
Gonna get into 20 minutes after that video was taken, starting to develop them bruising. Okay, impossible to do it to myself. That's ridiculous.
Do you think that she looked like she was about to start developing bruising right there, Gabrielle?
No, not at all.
Okay.
We went through the phone call in which I say over and over, I didn't want to be punched, and there's acknowledgments and sorries, and let's see.
Really? How come your case got thrown out and the judges said that you had no credibility?
I'll never get to that point again. Yeah, and the acknowledgement of my bruising on my hoo-ha, X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, I'm sure that he did that, not you.
Other women were brought in. The woman he has a trial with in Arizona. I mean, God bless.
Oh, you mean the one who's facing 16 years in prison?
Wait, that other chick?
He said the woman he has a trial with in Arizona. That's the one who now...
I thought they didn't have a child.
Trial.
Oh.
She's talking about because that other girl was also coming after him, and now that girl got exposed as having been completely full of shit, targeting him on purpose, and now she's going to go to fucking prison. So her on March 18th, a month ago, she's all, yeah, what about the girl in fucking Arizona? It's all, oh, you mean the one who's now going to go to prison for fucking a decade, just like you?
Plus him in the Mexican League. We'll see if he can take some time away to get to that trial.
Also, does this seem like a person who is like really, you know, like a person who was the victim of sexual assault?
No, yeah, exactly. Her energy's all
What
wrong.
else do I have to tell you? Nothing really, but sex tapes, forensic evidence, top lawyers, neutral arbitrator who all...
What's the forensic evidence again?
Nobody knows.
Said he is worthy of the longest suspension of all time. The public will never see what is in that MLB file, but I will tell you all of it. Again, the 4-minute video, dear God.
You have no... Woo! I'm going to edit this out. Okay.
Feel better now?
I do. I'll mute that.
I was gonna say,
and everybody
just put some bleeps over yourself.
Jesus, I kind of scared myself with that a little bit. But that is honestly like the. If someone made a real version of the movie Hostel and can cast her, I would be like, I'm good with that, dude.
Prison doesn't seem like
enough.
No,
it doesn't, dude. It's not enough.
But it's not like these people have any money to take, so
she should not exist.
Oh, for the love, you can't just. That can't be like the be all end all of all law.
I think bad thing, if you demonstrate to the world that you are like, this is you know what? I need to make sure that I edit that part real quick. All right, that's no one will ever have heard the things that I said right there. That can't even go in members only. That
was a lot, friends. That was a lot. He had a lot of feelings.
Not sure if like I want to say like I wouldn't really like be stoked about that, but I
just stop.
She's the worst. Like this kind of person. I don't know what it is too, because it's like a dude that does this. Like you kind of. It's like I can't. What's the right way to? I don't know. You know what? Let's just cut this off.
Moving on.
Let's just end this show. Thank you guys. Play with matches.
See you next time.
See you next time. Subscribe. All that. Love you guys. Bye.